Good evening. Welcome to the Franklin Township Board of Education regular meeting. Today is Thursday, November 18th. Can I get a roll call, Mr. Toth?
Yes. Ms. Desai?
Here.
Mr. Grippo?
Present.
Mr. Jackson?
Here.
Ms. Maris? Here. Mr. Potosnik? Ms. Singh? Dr. Smith?
Present.
Ms. Stanley? You have a quorum. Oh, I'm sorry, President LaCourte.
Here. And for the record, Artemin and Pat let us know that they would not be in attendance at today's meeting. Can you read the Open Public Meetings Act, please?
Yes. In accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, Public Law 1975, C-231 Sunshine Law, copies of this public meeting notice were sent to the Courier News, the Home News Tribune, the Star Ledger, the Franklin Reporter, Tapping to Franklin Township Clerk Manager, district schools, offices, and associations, PTO presidents, and posted on the district website.
Thank you. Can I get a motion to adjourn to confidential session, please? Moved by Mike, seconded by Bill. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourning to confidential session for the purpose of discussing confidential matters which include principal interviews, a special education settlement, a workers' compensation settlement. Minutes of the confidential session will be made public when the reason for confidentiality no longer exists. So we're adjourned to confidential. Good evening and welcome back to the Franklin Township Board of Education. Today is Thursday, November 18th, 2021. We're in confidential session for the purpose of discussing confidential matters, including principal interviews, a special education settlement, and a workers' compensation settlement. Minutes of the confidential session will be made public when the reason for confidentiality no longer exists. Ed, would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
Sure. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Lori, would you read the mission statement, please?
Yes. Franklin Township Public Schools embraces its diversity, fosters excellent educational innovation, and empowers all students to achieve their highest potential.
Thank you. Can I get a motion to adopt the agenda?
Nancy, I'm going to make that motion, but before we do, I would like to add, I'm going to yell because this is hot juice.
Here.
I would like to add Addendum A to the personnel report. No, it's out of battery. Most of them are. I was going to add Addendum A to the personnel report, and then what I would like to do here, seeing all the young men in the audience and folks appear to want to have some comment, move public comment on non-agenda items up after our student representative report, but for 3 minutes only.
So there's a motion to add Addendum A and add a public comment portion, 3 minutes only per speaker, and then go into our student representative report. Can I get a second, please?
Ed, I'll second that.
Second.
What?
I said I'll second it.
Oh, second by Ed. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, welcome Nafi Davis.
Hello, my name is Nafi Davis. I am one of the Student Government Board of Education liaison for this school year. Here's what's going on in Franklin High School. The FHS Sister in Training for Life members will be collecting brand new toys for our 12th annual Toys for Tots toy drive. All donated toys will be accepted until December 17, 2021. Only new unused toys are accepted. The Spanish Club, French Club, and JCL are collecting food to help our community during the holiday season. Please donate foods such as canned goods, pasta, rice, and other non-perishable items to give to the Franklin Food Bank. Collection boxes are located in Suite B106, C106, Main Office, Room B123, and Room B116. The student government is hosting a non-perishable food drive for the Emmanuel Cancer Foundation. See Mr. Friedman for donation and details. Franklin FBLA is hosting a book drive from November 15th until December 17th. Please bring in your gently used children's, teens, and young adult books and novels, and drop them off at any class suites or the library. All the books will be donated to the underserved children in New Jersey. Asian Awareness Club would like to invite all to the annual Diwali Celebration this Friday, November 19th, evening at 5:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. in the FHS cafeteria. The tickets are currently being sold $15 per person. The tickets include a full course, dinner, dance performances, a fashion show, and DJ dance music. For tickets and details, please see Ms. Sharma. The FHS Guidance Department is holding FAFSA night on the FHS Thursday, November 18th at 6 p.m. Thank you and have a good evening.
Thank you. And you're free to leave if you want, but thank you very much for your report.
I move we open public comment on any topic limited to 3 minutes.
Moved by Ed, seconded by
Second.
Nishida. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, public comment on any topic is now open. If you can come to the microphone and state your name. If you're over 18, state your address. And there's a 3-minute limit per speaker.
Just sign and then.
All right. My name is Benjamin Guy. I live in Somerset, 35 Patton Drive. I'm here to make a comment because of a community issue. And the reason why I say it's a community issue is because I don't want to get into politics of what's going on, but I want to make sure that I'm just raising awareness. Right now, we had a resignation that was actually at the high school, which is most of the people in this room might be aware, is the football coach that actually resigned. We've been going through this cycle with the actual athletic department for the last maybe 10, 15 years with trying to get community engagement and get buy-in from the residents to actually support athletics as a whole. One of the main staples for this community has always been football here, right? We've been going through a downturn as far as what we've actually been doing for retaining talent and retaining people in this community to actually support. One of the main pillars that that I'm really advocating for to actually be a part of this as a citizen of this community is I would like a chance for our middle school coach to actually have a fair shot to actually get that representation here. He's done a great job with being raised up in this community. He's been a great job with raising these community kids that are here, and he's been doing a great job with the middle school itself. Now, the reason why I'm making this public altogether and I'm making a specific statement is because I don't want to get into the politics of it. I really want the board to make the decision about this and to make it fast. Not even go out to a public bid about it. Make a fast decision about this. And the reason why is because it's about the touch and the feel of the culture that needs to be done in this community. There's a big revamp that needs to be done as far as what we need to do as far as Franklin Township as a whole. We need a soul back in this community. And the person that can bring back this soul is Blair Wilson. And we need to really, really consider this. It's not about politics. It's not about culture. It's about people. And this person is a person of the people. And we really need to put it out there to actually really, really consider to actually hire this guy. He's been here. He's done everything that you guys have asked him to do and more. And then again, the board needs to make a heavy consideration to hire this guy in. That's my time for now.
Thank you.
Hi, good evening. My name is Tiffany Montgomery. I live at 27 Roberts Road here in Somerset. I'm just going to piggyback off of what he just said. I'm here to advocate for Coach Blair. He is a wonderful gentleman of the community. He cares about our boys, and that's the most important thing. The most important thing that Coach Blair shows is that he cares for our boys. He wants them to win on and off the field, and he has shown that years and years and years. He's displayed that to our community. He's displayed that to our boys. He does so much for these boys. And that's what it's about. We're here because it's our children. We need our children to have that role model. And he has a significant awesome role model to our boys. He shows them that it's more than just football, because it is. We love football and we want to win, but we also need our boys to win off the field, and he does that. He makes them come to school on game days in khakis and polo shirts. He makes sure that they are out there in the community doing community service. He makes sure that these boys are doing what they need to do, again, not just on the field, but off the field. So all I'm asking is that you please consider Coach Blair to be the football coach for our boys at the high school. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Paul Mattia. I'm also a resident here in Franklin Township, also alumni from Franklin High School. I am here, along with many other people, I'm sure, to ask for certain things for this open position at the head football coach at Franklin High School. First off, I'm hoping and we want complete transparency and involvement in the process. The administration needs to promote the process openly and proactively, providing the information for the community to know what is happening and how we can be involved in the process. Franklin is a football community. This head coach position is not a position for the school. It's a position for the community. It's a position for all of us as parents and residents. We believe in football. This town is built on football. We've lacked with success on and off the field in football. Our kids leave the school because they don't have anything to play for. There's two things with a program. You can play for a winning program, or you can play for a coach. A winning program is not going to happen overnight. Nobody you bring in here is going to put the wins and losses up there in 1 year. But what we can do, and the opportunity we do have, is to give these kids someone to play for, and that can happen immediately. There is a candidate in this process now that is community driven. We need coaches that coach 24/7. After the whistle blows, you got to continue coaching. And that comes with staying late with the kids, working harder with them, seeing them on the streets, making sure they're getting home. They need a ride. They do this. They're with the wrong people. Stop, talk to them. You can only have that with someone who's part of the community, a resident of Franklin Township. We've tried it with many other coaches that live out of the area. The first thing they do, whistle blows, practice, game time, whatever it is, they got to go. They got an hour ride, they got to travel, they got other responsibilities.
30 seconds.
What we need is someone who's here and dedicated to the kids. These kids need mentorship off the field. To build this program immediately, we have a unique opportunity, better than anybody else, because we have a candidate who could step right in and continue what he's doing and has been doing over the years for our high school program and the kids, and bring the kids back who left. They will come back, and keep the kids who did stay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, sure. Should I wait for you to come back, or I can go? Good evening. My name is Chris Druzlecki. I live at 63 Cherrywood Drive here in Somerset. I might be able to bring a different perspective. Obviously, I'm here along with all these individuals. I've coached football in Franklin Township for the last 10 years. I started coaching on the Pop Warner level in 2011, and for the last 5 years, I've coached alongside Coach Blair, who everyone's here in support of. I don't want to talk to you tonight about football. I want to talk to you tonight about what we do for the young men that we coach. We have a saying on our team for the last 5 years that we teach 75% life and 25% football. If you've been in town for some time, you've seen a rise in crime, you've seen a rise in gang, you've seen a rise in young men involved in things that they shouldn't be. And us as coaches
have been there at 10 o'clock at night, 1 o'clock in the morning, fielding calls, picking kids up, driving them home, and being at sometimes a pseudo father figure that they don't have. There's a saying in football that the team that fields the best players wins. And I'm not sure if you are all aware that over the last 10 years, there's been 15 players that should have played football in Franklin Township that are now currently playing major Division I college football. 13 of them should have played on one team together. They went to schools as north as St. Peter's Prep, as far south as Mater Dei. What we're asking and what I'm here for is not only to support Coach Blair as a coach, but he's a better human. And I'll leave you at this. My fiance and I, we fostered one of my players in our home at the beginning of 2019. He was a young man that came from a lot of trauma. He was living in a shelter in Somerville, and we brought him into our home. And myself and Nicole were having troubles with him. We didn't know how to handle some of the situations that he had. But at 11 o'clock at night, I picked up the phone, and the guy that came to my door to help me was Blair Wilson. That has nothing to do with football and everything to do with character, and that's why he should be the next football coach at Franklin High School. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Leanna Nicole Giaquinto Flores. I live at 1580 Animal Road. I'm a 37-year resident of Franklin Township and alumni of Franklin High School and a parent of one of the young men on Coach Blair's soccer team. So while public speaking is not my favorite thing to do, it is definitely something that's worth putting myself out there for tonight in front of all of you. I think that the skills, both as everyone here has said, on and off the field over the last 1 year that I've seen Coach Blair involved with my son have been incredible. Lots of things you really can't teach a coach to teach. As a community member of the Franklin Township Soccer League, both on the executive board and as a coach for the past 17 seasons, I can tell you I've never seen a fellow coach as involved, interested, and invested as this one. So I just want to also point out, my son is a highly talented 8th grader, and we are right now in the decision-making process of where to send him. One of the major decision-making factors for us is what happens with this new coaching system and whether or not we start seeing some change within the football team structure and administration structure. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is George Metal. I live at 3 Renoir Way here in Somerset. A little birdie told me that this is the most people you've had at one of these meetings in quite some time. And obviously they're here to all show their support for Coach Blair. I'd like to say that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. And I think there's value in bringing a coach that not only grew up in this area, but also is entrenched in the lives of all of these young men. And it's important for us to be a voice for him in his absence here today, obviously, to let you know he wants this job. And he wants it bad. He wants it bad. So I implore you guys to please take a look at his resume, his application, and please give it some strong consideration. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Seeing no one else for public comment, I move we close this portion of public comment.
Motion to close public comment by Ed, seconded by?
Second.
By Lori. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Public comment is now closed. John, would you like to speak to this? Explain the process?
I knew you would do that. Well, yeah, first off, I think I speak on behalf of the board when I say thanks for coming. It's always wonderful to hear from the community. What I'm trying to summarize what I heard, and I think what I heard is a thirst for transparency in the process, involvement in the process, identifying a community-driven leader to be the next football coach, and a host of other things that I've jotted down that I certainly can summarize for Dr. Solomon and for Mr. Margolin. As the board knows, the process will begin at the high school, and ultimately the recommendation comes from the high school to the board. And like all of our other coaches, like all of our other staff members, teachers, principals, it starts at the school level. But I think it's fair, since folks spent the time and since folks came out, and I would think the board would like me probably to go over to the high school tomorrow, summarize these comments on behalf of the community to Dr. Solomon, who will lead the process, and make sure the voices are heard. I certainly can do that. I would think that would be fair, and I will take care of that first thing tomorrow.
Thank you very much. I was actually going to say that I'm sure that Dr. Solomon and Mr. Margolin will be watching this, so they can actually hear the support of the community as well. So now we're going to move on to, sure.
I guess, when you guys came up here and spoke what you did, it kind of brought me back to my youth. And I want everybody in this room to know that winning is everything, but not games. It's life. And I think many of us on this board realize that and understand, and we thank you for those comments.
Thank you. Does anyone else have anything they'd like to add? No? Yeah. Go ahead, Walter.
I just want to say, first and foremost, thanks for coming out. It's good to see folks coming out at a board meeting. We meet every Thursday, so please feel free to come back. But it's awesome to see a community come out in support of one of our own. You guys came out strong, and you really are showing your support for Blair. So my prayer is that everything works out, but what you guys continue to do is continue to support him as he continues to support our kids and our community. Thank you.
Thank you. And as everyone said, we don't usually have this many people show up at a Board of Ed meeting, so it's actually really nice that you all came out, and it's nice for the reason that you came out. I don't know if you guys want to stay for the rest of the meeting. It would be wonderful if you did, and like Walter said, we meet third Thursday of every month, so. And no action on this will be taken today. This, as Dr. Valley said, this conversation will happen tomorrow with Dr. Solomon and Mr. Margolin and Dr. Valley.
I would love to encourage everybody to stay, at least to honor our students who earned a silver award for Sustainable New Jersey at the middle school level. So, what's that? Our staff, right. So if we can maybe at least stay and honor our green team, that'd be awesome.
That would be. So you're more than welcome to stay, and we actually hope that you do. And now we are on to our Sustainable Jersey School Team Recognition, Principal Tori Hurd.
Oh, sorry, bud.
Well, while we still have this crowd, I just want you to know that we are very proud. I'm a proud principal that works with Blair, Coach Blair. And when I say he does an amazing job with our young men, I can't wait to see his face at 2 o'clock, because any issues I have with any football players, that's an immediate meeting and it's immediate resolution. So I want to say thank you for coming out, because he's done a great job with our boys. at Franklin Middle School, and I'm very proud of everything that he's done for us, with us, and right beside us. So thank you, Coach Blair. Phones will get you in trouble every time. You know, you try to put everything on the phone, so what are we doing? Digital. Because we've won a couple of awards in the last 3 weeks, and I am so proud of our staff, our students, and our community at large, because this is a collective reward. Can we have Mr. Porter come up, please, Mr. Springsteen, for the first award? Because you guys did the work, I want you to take the award. So this group, our goal is to make sure that we prepare students. We're preparing students for the 21st century. And the silver certification is also, it's about curriculum, it's about digital citizenship, it's about responsibility, it's about going into the community and doing what's best for the community and preparing our students for their next journey. And this is what part of the team did. I mean, it's creating curriculum, it's making sure that we have digital citizenship, we infuse technology into everything that we do, and they just did a wonderful job. So I want to say on behalf of the Board of Ed, Dr. Rivali and his cabinet, we thank you so much for all that you do. So thank you so much. Our next award, we were just winning all week. That's, Coach Blair would be so proud. Our next award was a work of love. With our students being out and not being in school and us being hybrid, working together and doing something for the social, emotional mindset of our students. One of our teachers came up with this great idea to create a called the Warrior Garden. And someone saw Miss Martinez come on up, because she was very critical for this award. And they decided, what better way than having the students create a garden, a place for them to go to settle down when they get upset. They painted rocks. If you get an opportunity, please come to the middle school to check out our garden, because it's a beautiful, soothing environment for our students that can go out there when they're upset and they immediately calm down. They immediately calm down. And they've made it a safe space for our students. And not only that, the vegetables that we get, the vegetables and fruit that we get over the summer is just unbelievable. So come on over to the middle school, check in, wear your mask, and we love to show you what's in our garden. And we also have a book stand there as well, where students can get books. So thank you again to our wonderful team. We call it the Warrior Farm. And on behalf of Franklin Middle School, I said thank you for all your work. Is anyone else here from our Warrior team?
Linda?
Is Linda here? Oh, come on, Linda. This is Miss Yoga. She does our yoga in the garden. So when you guys get a chance, come on over. Linda's doing yoga in the garden. Linda is, along with Miss Martinez, they were in that garden all summer, tilling the land. I know nothing about gardening, but they told me tilling the land, and they're watering it every week, and we saw the fruits of their labor. And it's a place that our students go and enjoy themselves, and I thank you from the bottom of our heart. Our students thank you. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, and thank you to the Warrior Farm Team and Sustainable New Jersey. It's great that you guys got recognized by this organization. And Ed, I know that you are the one that kind of turned us on to Sustainable Jersey at a school board's meeting a long time ago. You want to talk about it?
Well, I just want to thank everybody that's involved, Sustainable Jersey and the work that they're doing to teach young people about how to protect our natural resources. It's awesome. And then, also feed us. So I think it's fantastic. And the digital program is important as well. So congratulations to Principal Hurd and the whole team.
Thank you. Does anyone else have any other comments they want to make? No? Nope. Okay, now we are on to our superintendent's report.
Yes, and I would just want to take this opportunity to personally congratulate Mrs. Hurd and the FMS at HSC Green Team. I think the one thing that it needs to be understood is that, and you can check my facts on the website, only 32 schools, and there are 600 plus districts, only multiply that by the number of schools you can imagine, and only 32 schools thus far have achieved silver status. So this is no easy feat, and it's certainly something that they should be very proud of. I know we're very proud of them, and they continue their work as explained. They also were one of the very few districts to get a grant. So, Ms. Clark, you have to check my facts, but I believe if I recall correctly, it's 32 schools, and only 32 schools who have achieved silver status, and FMS at HSC is one of them. We have several other schools in the district now who have been motivated by that, and several other schools have developed their own green teams, and several other schools have now started the process of working through what is needed to achieve Sustainable New Jersey status as well. So very proud of all of our principals, all of our green teams, and the work that they're doing. I only have two other items. I want to keep it relatively short tonight. Holiday travel. As the holiday season approaches, I just want to remind everyone the district does have pandemic travel protocols in place for those who plan to travel. In fact, tonight the board is acknowledging an amended version of travel protocols that provide direction to our school community in accordance with the latest CDC guidance. Travel protocols and all other pandemic response protocols can be found on the website. All you need to do is click open the COVID-related protocol tab on the left-hand side of the district's main page, and you'll see things like testing protocol, quarantine protocols, travel protocols, so forth and so on. So you can stay as up to date with the ever-changing landscape of the COVID-19 protocol world. And I also want to say thank you and congratulations to the mighty force of folks that we had out yesterday at the Hamilton Street campus who worked a pop-up clinic, an age 5 to 11 pop-up clinic, led by none other than our school nurses and our favorite person over there with her laptop open, Miss Mary Clark. We hosted an age 5 to 11 clinic, and we had over 300 children with their parents that showed up to be vaccinated. Somerset County is who did the vaccinations, the Somerset County Health Department. We partnered with them. They were wonderful through the process. Our school nurses, again, second to none. Ms. Clark, you did a wonderful job with your team organizing it, Dr. Sofield. So thanks for providing that opportunity for our students. Those 300 plus students will now come back on December 8th and receive a second shot from the Somerset County Health Department. And then post-break, we'll see if we have the opportunity and the need is there, we'll host perhaps another pop-up as well. I do also want to mention that for ages 12 and above, we partner with the Township and provide the facility while the Township provides the testing and Somerset County provides vaccinations. So on Sunday at the Hamilton Street campus, and that campus is just perfect for doing these kinds of events, which is why we always select that campus, from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m., the township will host a testing/vaccination pop-up clinic for those, anybody can be tested, but those ages 12 and above can be vaccinated. They will not have vaccination for the age group 5 to 11. We did that on Wednesday, and obviously that's a different dosage, so the county won't be bringing that on Sunday, can't bring that on Sunday, but they are on Sunday through the township going to do a testing vax clinic for ages 12 and above if there's a need there. So that's it for me. Again, thanks to all those involved in yesterday's pop-up clinic. It went well organized, and kudos to all.
Thank you. Can you please all join me in a moment of silence for the passing of Jody Marcoux, whose daughter is Alyssa Marcoux, a teacher at Hillcrest. Thank you. My report's kind of short, too. This being Thanksgiving, or just about Thanksgiving, and Bill and I are fortunate enough to be Warriors for Life. So the Warrior for Life Foundation is presenting I Love Franklin Week. So if you go to their website, you can find out all of the ways that you can support Franklin and support Warrior for Life. And on Giving Tuesday, which is November 30th, you can donate if you graduated. You can donate your the year that you graduated. So if you graduated in 2000, it would be $20 to donate. So all that money goes to support our students. So please check that out. And it's also a good time to bring up the Franklin Food Bank, as you brought up, Tori. It's a really good time and this month to support the food bank, but hunger happens all year. So it's a good time to support all of those organizations. And I want to wish everybody a very happy Thanksgiving. Coming out of last year, I think we have a lot to be thankful for, and I think sometimes we forget what we have to be thankful for. And if you know somebody that needs some help, there are resources that you can apply. And now we are on to comments from the public, and this will be on agenda items only. This is kind of weird that we're doing it backwards. And this will be 5 minutes per speaker. Can I get a motion to open public comment?
So moved.
Moved by Mike, seconded by Nishida. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, public comment on any item is now open. On agenda items is now open. And Ms. Clark has some... Okay. All right. So does anybody have anything on agenda items? Please come to the podium and state your name and address. Boy, nothing clears a room faster than a Board of Ed meeting. Can I get a motion to close public comment on agenda items?
So moved.
Moved by Mike, seconded by
Second.
Walter. All in favor? Opposed?
Aye.
Okay, public comment on agenda items is now closed. Lori, can you read the curriculum report, please?
Yes, the Curriculum and Instruction Committee met Monday, November 8th via Zoom at 6:15 p.m. In attendance were myself as chair, Ms. Artemis Singh, Mr. Walter Jackson, and Ms. Nancy LaCourte, also Dr. Daniel Longren and Dr. Ravalli. Under new business, the committee approved participation in a Rutgers University study called The Socioeconomic Benefits of a Novel Pilates Intervention for the New Jersey Public School Students. Participation in the study is cost-free to the district. Submission of the district's preschool plan for the 2022 to 23 school year. This plan will enable the district to continue to enhance its delivery of preschool services to eligible students in Franklin Township. The committee also discussed progress on the Franklin Township Public School District Equity Plan. The discussion enabled committee members to review progress being made on the various initiatives outlined in the district's plan. The meeting concluded at approximately 7 p.m.
Thank you. I can't get to my committee reports. Nishita, did we have communications?
The Communications and Public Engagement Committee met on November 8th, 2021. Present were myself as chair, Ardaman Singh, Ms. Lori Maris, Nancy LaCourte, and Mary Clark. This was a special meeting of the Communications Committee for the purpose of discussing the district and school websites. The committee discussed concerns raised by the PTSO President's Council with regard to search engine, navigation, and content of the website. The committee discussed the possibility of securing a new website template, providing additional training to district web curators, and obtaining additional feedback from the larger district community. The committee will revisit these items when it meets at its next scheduled meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. Bill, can you read safety?
This month, there's no safety
Okay,
meeting.
I can't get to any of my reports, so I don't know
we meet
what we
every
have a
other
report on. Thank you. Walter, would you read personnel, please?
Okay, 1 second. The Personnel Committee met on November 10th at 6:02. In attendance was Ardaman Singh, myself, Dr. Michael Smith, Nancy LaCourte, Dr. John Ravalli, Brian Bonanno, and Jackie Schneider.
Did your mic just go out? Sorry.
The Personnel Negotiation Committee will review and/or discuss the following items. Personnel Report, November 10th, 2021, number 5. Personnel Committee reviewed and discussed the Personnel Report for November 10th, 2021. Appointments include teachers, paraprofessionals, assistant school business administrator, controllers, and food service workers. Additional stipend appointments include winter coaches, fine visual and performing arts positions, extended day learning, Title I, Saturday detention administrator, and assessments. Workers' compensation settlement. The Personnel Committee reviewed the settlement offered included in the agenda. Employment contracts for Mr. Brian Bonanno and Ms. Mary Clark. The Personnel Committee reviewed the individual employment contracts for Mr. Bonanno and Ms. Clark, based revised job description and title changes. We did the good of order. Dr. Ravalli reviewed the committee, the interview, and recommendation process for the high school football coach. Thank you.
Thank you. Can you do policy as well?
Yes. Policy Committee met on November 8th. In attendance were myself as chair, Nishita Desai, Lori Maris, Dr. John Ravalli, Nancy LaCourte, and Mary Clark. The committee reviewed and discussed the recent change to the testing protocol. A doctor's note is no longer required for students to return to in-person learning after quarantine, provided that they are able to show proof of negative PCR tests. The committee reviewed and discussed revisions to the following policies and agreed to move them forward for full board consideration at today's meeting. Policy 2422, Health and Physical Education. The name of this policy was changed and new requirements of the New Jersey Student Learning Standards were added. Policy 2467, Surrogate Parents and Foster Parents. The name of this policy was changed and other language revised to reflect changes in terminology. Foster parent will be replaced by resource family parent. Policy 5116, Education of Homeless Children. Language was added to acknowledge a yearly report which must be submitted to the Office of Homelessness Prevention, which accounts for students enrolled in the district as a result of being homeless. Policy 8420, emergency and crisis situations, language was updated to align with status regarding fire and school security drills. And then Regulation 8420.1, fire and fire drills was also reviewed and language from status added to directly align with district responsibilities regarding fire safety as mandated by law. The revision to this regulation will come before the Board of Education at their December meeting. Respectively submitted.
Thank you. Mike, would you do finance, please?
Sure. The Finance Committee met on Tuesday, November 16th of this year at 6 p.m. Present were President LaCourte, myself as chair, Mr. Grippo, Dr. Ravalli, Mr. Toth, Mr. Ellis, Mr. Bonanno, and Ms. McMillan. We went over the district financials, where the committee reviewed the bills list for the current period and the board secretary's report, the transfer report, the bank reconciliation, and the void check report for the prior period. Dr. Ravalli and Mr. Toth reviewed the ESSER 3 budget. The plan will be posted to the website for the public to view. We also discussed our charter school payments. Activa Academy received $16,898. CJCP received $1,040,744. I love this because they're all in double zeros at this time. Greater Brunswick, $37,074. Thomas Edison received $552,128. The Barack Obama School received $3,896. Total monthly tuition for these charter schools was $1,650,770. Total tuition to date for the year is $9,447,320. That also includes some transportation cost for those schools. That's $242,000 for this period, $354.16. And then total for the year, total payments to the charter schools is $9,689,674.16. Our meeting ended at 6:30 p.m. and that's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Ed, would you do the Facilities Committee, please?
The Facilities Committee met on Tuesday, November. Try that again. Tuesday, November 16th at 6:30 p.m. In attendance was President LaCourte, Mr. Grippo, Dr. Smith, Dr. Ravalli, Jonathan Toth, Brian Bonanno, Sharifa McMillan, and Ryan Ellis. The capital projects were the first item on the agenda and included the PJM HVAC. The HVAC unit has been installed and the electric is complete. The only remaining work is on the exterior duct work, which will be completed by Thanksgiving, just next week. The secure vestibule project is also underway. Triform finished the above ceiling drop soffit at McAfee Road School. Steel was installed this week at the Pine Grove Manor School, and the sidewalk is scheduled to be poured this week. All of the schools will begin to receive glass deliveries next week, and the installation will begin thereafter. At the Board Administrative Complex, the contracts for asbestos abatement are being awarded at tonight's meeting, later on the agenda. The Franklin High School dugouts, the committee directed Ryan Ellis to prepare bid specifications for the acquisition of modular dugouts for the varsity football team, baseball team, and the softball teams. And those are like movable. That's what they're modular. And then the land sale. Contracts have been executed by both the Franklin Township Board of Education and the Franklin Township Library Board. The only remaining items for the New Jersey Department of Education to approve is for the disposal of land and the amendment to the BOE long-range facilities plan. The meeting started at 6:30 and ended at 8:10 p.m.
Thank you. Did you want to talk about the solar, how that's going, since that's what you do for a living?
Yeah, so, maybe Mr. Toth can add a little bit more, but one of the things that was, I think, a really smart engagement that the board decided, I guess it was just a little over a year ago now, the Facilities Committee invested in solar on the Claremont School. Originally, the roof was built as a green, well, the whole building was built as a green LEED certified building to the gold standard, and it didn't include solar, but it was very energy efficient. It used half the water, half the electricity of our other schools, which was awesome. But money being the way it is and not knowing how the budgets are going to go, we weren't sure we'd have the funds for solar. And while a lot of our schools, we've looked at doing something called a planned purchase agreement, where we work with an outside vendor to provide the solar and we buy it back at a discounted rate and we don't have to put any capital into that. The board bought the solar array at Claremont School. So not only are we receiving free energy, we get something called a solar renewable energy credit, or in this case, they're a transitional renewable energy credit. And I think in the first month now that we've gotten ours, would have received $16,000 back in rebates in addition to the free energy. And that's going to be every single month for 20 plus years of dividends from using taxpayer money to make that investment. And we estimate that in about 3 or 4 years, we'll have paid off the array, and then the rest will be, as they say, gravy, and it'll help relieve taxpayers from having to pay those bills. So I just want to commend the board on that, and that was the newest bit of information, and it's very exciting to see that come to fruition. I know it was not as easy as some of the other arrangements we've had, but taking that risk, you can start to see the math, and it's on our side, and it's on the side of taxpayers too. So I really appreciate everybody going forward with that. Thank you.
Thank you. And now we are on to new business.
I guess I'm up. New business. New business. I would like to make a motion to move R1, M1, A1 through A10, B1 through B9, C1 through C6, P1 through P3, and again, that's with the addendum A for the personnel report.
Okay, the motion is to move R1, M1, A1 through A10, B1 through B9, C1 through C6, P1 through P3, and including addendum A.
Second.
Seconded by Bill. Okay, anybody have any comments, discussion? Lori? Nishida? Bill?
Yes.
Any comments or discussion on any of that?
You said no.
Okay, sorry, I can't hear.
That's okay.
No.
Walter?
No.
Ed? Mike?
No.
Okay. Mr. Toth, how about a roll call?
There you go.
Oh, wow, really?
We're good. Excuse me. Ms. Desai?
Yes.
Mr. Grippo?
Yes.
Mr. Jackson?
Yes, yes.
Thank you. Ms. Maris?
Yes.
Mr. Potosnik?
Yes. It wasn't me before? Sorry.
Ms. Singh? Oh, sorry. Dr. Smith?
Yes.
President of the court?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
You might want to ask Mr. Jackson again.
Yes.
He's got the good mic.
Okay.
He has them.
All right, I would like to welcome our new principal of Conor Rhodes School, Mr. David Harass. Would you like to come up and say something?
Too good. Thank you.
Greetings, my name is David Eros, and I am delighted to be filling the shoes as the new principal of Conor Rhodes School. I have been an educator here in Franklin Township since, 1998. And even did my student teaching here. When I was at Rutgers, there was a high school teacher who came to speak to my introduction to teaching class, and he spoke so passionately about Franklin Township that I said I have to be wherever that man is. My first vice principal was Dr. Donna Silver Burnett, and my mentor when I got my principal certificate was Dr. Donna Silver Burnett. And so being able to serve her school, carry on the strong tradition at Conor Rhodes School, and serve the students, the families, the staff and faculty is just an honor. Thank you, Board of Education.
Thank you very much and congratulations. And now can I get a motion to open public comment on any item, right? No.
Just from
Oh, sorry.
just from the
Yeah.
emails that I didn't
Okay,
read before.
sorry.
Sorry about that.
I'll happily move that we
Second.
open public comment just for emails.
Second.
Okay, motion by Ed, seconded by Mike. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, Mary, go ahead.
Okay, the first comment is from Naisha Reynas of 1003 Green Hill Manor Drive, Franklin Park. I am reaching out to nominate Coach Blair, Franklin Middle School coach, for the high school coach position. He is the epitome of a coach because of his passion for the game, but more importantly for his actual love for the boys that are on his team. He has had such an influence on my son that my son actually calls Coach Blair when he has done something wrong for guidance and when he has something positive to share as well. The bond that he has with him amazes me because I can see that it is making a tremendous difference in how my son views himself. The idea of not only teaching the sport, but also teaching these young men to become gentlemen is what is driving my push for you to consider this nomination. Unfortunately, I am not able to attend the meeting for this evening, but I hope this item makes the agenda and he is considered for the open position. Thank you for your time in advance. Kindest regards. We have one other, and this one is from Wendy Gardner. My name is Wendy Gardner of 12 Timberland Drive. I am the proud parent of 2 children in the Franklin Township Public Schools District. I also served as a PTO board member of FPS and Claremont Elementary School. Now that my kids are in SGS and FMS, I volunteer in other ways to support my children and the school. I have a few questions regarding curriculum/budget. 1, why are we teaching our children equity and Project 1619? Is this a part of critical race theory? If so, why such a diverse community which we should be teaching them to separate into race groups? 2, the educational presentation by Dr. D. Logren in October 2021, why was there such a drop in test scores, I-ready diagnostics, and a failing graduation rate of 89%? 3, what is being done to improve test performance and increase our embarrassing graduation rate? 4, during the school year 2020-2021, my daughter informed me that because of the shortened day and off every Friday, the math department failed to teach over 4 chapters of math for her Algebra 2 class. Because of this, she is struggling in pre-calculus. She has also informed me that her math teacher is also frustrated because her teachers and students have to play catch-up in order to move forward. What particular tools will the board provide to help these students succeed? Note, she is already participating in office hours. And 5, why are we paying head coaches and assistant coaches from $4,000 to $12,000 for their respective season? When was the last time FHS has won states in fall sports? Thank you, Wendy Gardner. That is all the public comments that were submitted via email.
Thank you very much, Mary.
Okay.
Would you like to comment on?
I move we close the email portion.
Oh, well, they only have one email person, so. All in favor? Opposed? Mary's email comments are now closed. John, would you like to comment?
Sure. I mean, I think we handled the coach comments earlier. I certainly will include that in the summary. As far as the other questions, why are we teaching equity? Is that critical race theory? So forth and so on. Let me be clear, we're not teaching critical race theory. Instead, our equity plan strives to do is really improve what we consider the technical core, which is the student-to-teacher relationship, a student's sense of belonging in school, and the student-to-content relationship. I'm sure if you take the time to carefully review our equity plan of action, which is board approved, that's online, that will be apparent as you look at the goals and the action steps that are included in that plan. As far as iReady Diagnostics and Dr. Logren's presentation from last month, as mentioned by Dr. Logren last month, much of the data collected the last 2 years in the absence of state testing really needs to be consumed with caution. And, Dr. Logren said that on several occasions, and that really is due to the unusual circumstances brought about by the pandemic. Actually, all of last year, we didn't have kids in school 2 years ago, and all of last year at the secondary level, 60% of our students were learning from home, while 40% of our kids were learning from school, and for a portion of the year, that 40% were really in a hybrid format or in an alternating week format. So, as explained by Dr. Logren, what our data did reveal is that the kind of growth we've been experiencing in previous years, we did not experience, and unfortunately to be expected. With that said, we described a host of interventions. Now that we have our students back and our teachers back and students working with teachers, we described a host of interventions. They were presented in Dan's plan. That'll be funded, a good deal of them, by ESSER funds. Those are designed to promote the kind of growth that we had been experiencing pre-pandemic. That really leads to question 3, what's being done to improve test performance, I think was that question, and quote unquote embarrassing graduation rate. Well, the graduation rate is a cohort graduation rate, which is not the number of kids that graduate in any one given year, but it is a rate, and I think it's important to state this, it's a rate that is calculated over 4 years, and that changed several years ago in New Jersey. And one of the challenges in recent years with the pandemic is the movement of students. Because what it does is it takes a snapshot in time when students enter the high school, and then it follows that student for the next 4 years. Now, if a student moves, then the expectation is that the student registers somewhere else, and that's coded one way by us, another way by someone else. We've appealed a lot of these as well, so we anticipate that rate will go up a bit, but it's fairly consistent to where it's been, in all honesty. And do we want it to be better? Absolutely. And are we working hard to improve that? Sure. And some of the things that I mentioned in the response to number 1, our equity plan will address that, right? Having students feel like they belong in the school that they go to. Having students connect better with their teachers. Having students connect better with the content. That's going to improve that kind of data. It's going to have a direct reflection on it, which is why that equity plan is so important. And with that said, all the other interventions that Dr. Logren described, and we do have a plan as well online, and I know I reference online a lot, but that's really where there is a lot of information. And we just recently updated the ARP ESSER 3 plan. That's how we're utilizing ARP ESSER 3 money. And kudos to Dr. Logren, the Office of Curriculum and Instruction, the directors, the supervisors, the administrators, the parents who responded to the surveys that we put out there, the teachers who responded to the surveys that we put out there, because, and the data. And with all of that put together, I think we have developed a pretty sound plan on how to leverage the ARP money that we're fortunate to be taking into the district, that will provide a lot of the support that is needed for our students as we move forward to gain ground due to this horrific conditions that we've been under the last 2 years. So I encourage you, and I think that handles number 3. I think that also handles number 4. Listen, yes, we had shortened days, and yes, we needed those Fridays to help prepare our staff to be able to teach in a whole brand new way. And we weren't alone in that quest, right? We were very consistent across Somerset County, and for that fact, across the state, in working with each other to develop programs that, were they traditional? No. And were they, but we were maximizing, I guess, a better way to say it. We were maximizing what we had and what was dealt to us at the time. So, yeah, unfortunately, we know we did lose time, and we know we had to prioritize standards and trim content and do the kinds of things that we had to do the last 20 months, and now we've got to make that time up. It's unfortunate, but we have to. And the good news is that that plan, if you take the time to look at it, that ARPS 3 plan, you'll see that there are a lot of really good things included, funded by the federal money and the state money that we've been awarded, that will allow us to again, catch up on some of that time that we missed. So, and for question 5, why are we paying head coaches? I think that's what it was, and assistant coaches, Mary. Well, coaching salaries are negotiated. It's part of the contractual agreement between the board and the FTEA, and it's detailed in the payment of schedules. And once that goes into effect, then it's a contractual obligation. So whatever it is for that position is what that person makes, no more, no less. And if a season's canceled or, like had to happen during the pandemic, well then that money's not utilized, or if it's canceled during the year for whatever reason, then it's a prorated amount. So, all those kinds of salaries, club salaries in addition, are all part of a larger schedule that's part of a negotiated agreement, and the personnel office simply follows that schedule of salary. And that's it.
Thank you. Regarding all of the salaries, everything is posted. Actually, it's part of our budget. Every dime that is spent within the district is posted on the district website, so you can find anyone's salary. And with respect to to our equity plan, it's excellent, and the equity committee meets monthly, and then they have subcommittees that meet as well. So, and that's comprised of teachers, staff, supervisors, parents, students we have on our teams, and representatives from the board. So it's a pretty robust committee. Does anyone have anything for the good of the order? Bill, I'll start with you.
I go first, huh? Okay. So I've been quiet tonight. Got a few things. First of all, the value of coaches. In Coach Blair's case, I think back over the years of the wonderful coaches we've had in Franklin Township, and back with Len Rivers and Carl Wade and Matt Perry and Malcolm Bernard, and the effect that coaches have on kids is so profound. So I wish the very best for the future of Franklin football teams through all the grades, especially Pop Warner Middle School and right up. The character building that coaches provide is incredible. David, congratulations. When I came to not when I came to Franklin, somewhere in the middle, about 20 years ago, my first school I was principal of was Connolly. So I know the footsteps, I know the bricks, and you're going to have a great time there, and best wishes. Congratulations, Tori. That's great work with the green team. And Hennessy, she mentioned you with the garden. If you have extra produce, contact me for the food bank in Franklin. We have a pantry that people are starting to come January. That walk-in section will be open, and it's so great to see people come for fresh produce. So if you have a garden, that's just great. And the last thing is, a couple meetings ago, Ed Potasek put a thought in my head about electric buses. I heard President Biden talking about it, and I know Jonathan Toth is doing a study on it this year. Just a couple things I'd like Jonathan to think about is the size of the lot. We had our own buses for years in Franklin Township. It was great to have a bus driving community. We don't have that now. But maybe with electric buses that could come back. It's a possibility. We have to look at the size of a lot, the cost of maintenance, comparison of fuel to electric, driver training, the longevity of the buses, shared services with municipality and county, available grants that could help pay for this, and the number of buses needed. I know it's a big task, Jonathan, but it'd be great to see what the results of your study are. So that's it. Have a blessed Thanksgiving, everyone, and thank you for all you do.
Thank you very much, Bill. Nishita, do you have anything for the good of the order? Lori?
I wanted to congratulate Mr. Harass. Godspeed. And also to Mrs. Hurd. Nice work. Congratulations. And I wanted to especially thank the voters for Franklin Township for re-electing me to the board. It's a very humbling experience to be elected again, and it means a great deal to me to be able to be part of this fabulous district and to be able to have the privilege to help in implementing some of the wonderful programs that we have gotten started. So thank you very much from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you. I actually meant to say thank you, Lori, and congratulations to Dennis Hopkins and Sammy Shaban, who will be joining, both Dennis and Sammy will be joining us in January. And Ed will be leaving us to join the Franklin Township Council as the first ward representative. So congratulations to you, Ed, as well. Speaking of Ed, do you have anything you'd like to say?
Yeah, Doug, congratulations in order. Principal Hurd, again, thank you for all the work that you're doing. Sustainable Jersey is a rigorous program, as the superintendent mentioned. It's awesome. And the nice thing about education is, you know, we can foster skills in students that we don't even have our own. And, you know, I remember directing the musicals, and I had some talent in some areas, but like when I was choreographing dance, that was not my strength. And they always went so much further than I could. And similarly, you mentioned you weren't really a gardener, but yet your school has a garden, and it's taking off because you're facilitating that. And it's what we do in this space, and it's just amazing. So congratulations. And also, Mr. Harass, now not acting principal anymore. Principal Harass, congratulations to you. And I just wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving. It was really moving to have everyone here tonight and really to be back in person in so many different places. And what a great community we have. And hopefully you get time with your families again, you know, and really get to break bread and appreciate each other.
Thank you. Walter, do you have anything?
Oh, yes. Happy holidays, safe, happy, wholesome Thanksgiving to all. We all truly have something to be thankful for. So if you have an opportunity this Thanksgiving season, try to be a blessing to someone who's less fortunate. David, congratulations. I know you'll do great. We're excited about what you will be continuing to bring to Franklin. And I would like to congratulate Principal Tori Hurd as well as Crystal Cross. Last month, I believe, they were inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame at King University. So congratulations on that accomplishment. And that's it.
Mike?
Congrats. I have a seed problem if you need seeds. Happy Thanksgiving.
And I just want to say, have a very blessed Thanksgiving. And with that, we are adjourned.